That shouldn't have done that, that's for sure. Okay, back at it on Krusty's motor here. Got a batch of parts. We got the cam degreed. The cam is almost 2 degrees advanced, so we're just going to leave it at that. So, got the cam button done. It was a little bit long right here, so what this does is push against the timing cover and keeps the cam from walking out this way. Yeah. So we had to grind about 50 thousandths off of it, and it seemed really close. So we're just putting it together for the first time with the gasket. We'll get a handful of bolts in it, get those snug down, and then we'll see how much play we have. Make sure we're all good. So let's see. Yeah, we'll just put wow. Interesting. That is interesting. I wonder why it's doing that. That's crazy. Pulled it up without a gasket. It was moving up. It was so tight. I watched you do it. That shouldn't have done that, that's for sure. Yeah, because I still could see light between the cover and the block, and there was no...
Every time you moved it, I moved my hand, like, watched it move. How much do you want, did you say?
About 5 or 6.
Oh, 5 or 6.
Yeah, we cut 50 off of it, so we probably shouldn't have cut any off of it, I guess. Let's just grab another can.
Let's order another one. I gotta make an order anyway.
Yeah. So just
Make
order.
it easy.
It's like $6 or something.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, we messed that one up, so I don't...
We like to do things
multiple times.
We do it right because we do it twice.
Yeah.
Or
We do it nice because we did it twice.
or more
Or
times.
3 or 4 or 5 or 8 times, so...
Whatever.
Yeah, I'm not sure how we did that, so... But at least it's an easy, inexpensive fit, so...
And we've already got
We already got an order coming, so...
Oh, yeah.
That's always best to catch your mistakes in assembly and not...
While you're running it.
Yeah, not 20 miles in and everything comes apart. So. Dusty got finished assembling the heads, and we were waiting on one valve seal. We ruined one seal putting it together. Oh, really? And so we got that all put together, and he's putting sealer on the threads. We got ARP lube already on the heads of the bolts, so that's all good. With any luck, we'll have this motor put pretty well buttoned up. Yay! We'll get after it. Right now we're trying to figure out the push rod length, so don't have any idea what length they're supposed to be because of the roller lifters are usually longer, and then this has 100 thousandths longer valves, so that they're not even going to be close to what the stock length push rod was. Plus the heads have been milled and the deck's been blocked, or the block has been decked. My goodness. We're just gonna, we have these push rod length checkers from Comp Cams, so you can see, you just adjust them. They have a base length, so this one, when it's all the way in, the length is 7.8 inches. And then for every turn it lengthens the push rod 50 thousandths, so you don't actually physically measure anything. You just start with that number and turn the push and count the number of turns that you had that you put into the push rod to get the right length. So we just drop them in, set the rocker on. The cam is on the base circle, so the lifter's all the way down. So there's the exhaust side. Here's the intake. We're just trying to get a preliminary setting here. And you'll notice that I marked the tip of the valve with a Sharpie.
Oh, so you can see where it's been hit.
So we just put that there
Side.
carefully. So you can see where it's at right there on the tip of the valve. So it's fairly centered. You want it just slightly back when it's on the base of the cam. Same thing here. So we're going to adjust that.
This thing's big.
Is that just a big clam?
So the spring compressor.
Dang.
Okay, so now once we've done that, and we got the tips of the valves marked, we will take and spin the motor. You want to just go and run the rockers through their full range of motion. There's the exhaust. There goes the intake. And then you'll also notice I have these smaller valve springs on here,
So it doesn't hurt anything?
so it doesn't bend these push rod checkers, because they're not very strong, especially when you get them spun out that far. So now we ran it through, pull the rocker off,
You can see where it's...
you can see where it's been riding. So this one needs to be just a tiny bit longer because it's too close to the fulcrum side. So we just lengthen that up, and that'll push the pattern closer to center. Big block Chevys are pretty sensitive to having the correct push rod length because of the funky angles of the valves and all the funny motion of the side loading of the push rods and stuff. So you need to make sure that you have these right, otherwise it's going to be wearing out valves and guides pretty quickly. So got everything pretty well buttoned up on this, so now we just need to mask it up to paint it. We'll adjust the valves here when we get the balancer on, make it a little easier to turn the motor around. So, but we won't put the balancer on until after it's painted. But yeah, everything's worked out really well. Push rods look good. The old Harlan Sharp roller rockers, those are kind of a museum relic. They've been around for a long time.
These things have been around since, what, 2000? 2001?
Yeah, I think you bought them back in 2000. So
It's about 22 years.
yeah, the set that I had on the 72, I bought back in like 91 or 2.
Oh,
So
really? The ones
They-
that you...
yeah,
that were on
that went with the truck. Yeah. So, but yeah, she's getting real close. So yeah, we'll let Dusty go back to masking, and I guess I ought to look and see what color you painting it. Orange, black.
There's only one color.
Okay, I'm
Only
glad
one
to hear.
color a big block Chevy can be.
Okay, good.
Legally.
Yeah,
Purple.
legit. Yeah, orange it is. Okay, I guess I better go. I better go make sure I have some. So
Well, we're already going to Lowe's by pin anyway.
I don't think we're
They're
going to
gonna have
Lowe's.
Chevy
we're
orange
going by pin.
Yeah, so we'll see what we got. So. Alright, engine's all painted. Painting the balancer. So that can go in here in just a second. It should dry pretty quick. Getting ready to oil it, so I've just got some of this break-in lube here. Just gonna pour over the rocker arms here. This is just a zinc additive for break-ins, so just want to make sure we get some of this over these rocker arms and have it run over the tips of the valves, so that's all protected during startup. So we'll pour the rest down here on the cam. Okay, continuing the assembly on the 496. Got the water pump on, test fitting the alternator and power steering brackets. Getting ready to install the balancer. So I've got this balancer installer on here. So it just has a stud that threads down into the front of the crank, and then it has a big nut that pulls the balancer on. So on these, especially on a big block, the balancers fit so tight. You have to make sure you get this threaded down in all the way into the crank. Otherwise, you can risk pulling the threads out of the crank. So I lubed up the seal surface on the balancer. Okay, so we did got the intake manifold torqued down. We got the oil pump primed. You can see that we got oil on all of these rockers. So I just have this old distributor. We pulled it out. I just have an old distributor that I cut down, and we just run it with the drill. So
I heard it.
You've never seen one.
So anyway, that's all it is. So you got to have something like this to block the passageway right there by above the cam. So, but that's all it is. I just ground the distributor or the teeth off the drive gear, and then I just use a drill. So yeah, I like to run the oil pump, get everything primed before we adjust the valves. That way we can get all the lifters pumped up, and it just makes it a lot easier to.
Especially obviously on a hydraulic, right?
Yeah.
Solid, you don't have to do that.
Solid,
but a solid, you'd actually, that's where you
use your feeler gauge.
Okay.
Okay, so he's just going to start at the front and do each one individually. I know it's not the fastest way, but it's the way that consistently works, and we don't have to worry about going back and finding the ones that we missed. So.